Hi, this is Mike Madoda and you're listening to the ZiFM Sport Podcast.
The hottest station in the nation. ZiFM Stereo.
It's Lionel Messi! He scored! The goal the world wanted!
It's time for the biggest sports stories.
It's Neymar trying to feed it through. It's a stretch and it's in! And I can't remember the last time I saw something like this. Extraordinary scenes.
The biggest interviews.
It's more difficult. Obviously, it's more difficult.
And all the analysis right here.
If they play poorly, they come back, they've got all the excuses. You can't have it both ways.
Every weekday, it's my sport, it's your sport. It's ZiFM Sport. Let's join the team for the biggest show in the world of sport on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.
It's a very good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to it, ZiFM Sport on a Thursday evening. We always keep it short, sharp, and sweet. It's the shortened edition of your favorite sports show where we just give it to you for 25 minutes, but we make sure it doesn't miss out on the excitement as well as, of course, the education and entertainment that you normally get every other weekday. My name is Mike Madoda, and today, like we announced at the beginning of the year, every Thursday is going to be interview base from now on as we speak and reach out to some of the biggest sporting personalities in the land. And to kick off the 29 series, we thought, who else but the man they call CNN, Charles Mabika. And Charles Mabika, good evening and welcome to ZiFM Sport.
Well, it's a very good evening to everybody listening right now, and Mike, a very good evening to you too.
And of course, Charles Mabika, a renowned sportscaster, radio, television, and also a wealth of knowledge as far as the beautiful game is concerned. He's, of course, an encyclopedia. If you want to find out all about Zimbabwe football, continental football, as well as international football, CNN is the man to talk to, and that's why we're speaking to him here on ZiFM. And of course, he's also the man that puts in a vote for Zimbabwe when the Ballon d'Or selections are made. Charles, 2019 kicks off with obviously a big match on the horizon on Saturday at Barberfield Stadium. FC Platinum will take on Orlando Pirates. Your thoughts on that one? Their maiden dance at the group stages.
Oh yeah, Mike, it's said that this game is not going to be played at FC Platinum's beloved Mandava Stadium. It is their home, yes, but listen, CAF have said it's not up to standard yet, so they've got to do what they have to do at Barberfield Stadium. And I'm just hoping that well, I can't say the whole of Zimbabwe, but the thousands who can manage to make it to the city of kings and queens, I probably will be there as well. I think I'm going to leave on Friday. The match is on Saturday. Now, this one, I don't know if it's a game. Norman Mapeza, the head coach of Pure Platinum Play, hasn't been saying much, but this is a tricky game. Why I say that, I'm not saying because Orlando Pirates are scary. Of course, they could be scary, but it's very tricky that I wouldn't have wanted FC Platinum to start against Orlando Pirates. Listen, we are talking about one of the biggest powerhouses of African football. They've won this tournament. Of course, those players are gone. They won this tournament back in 1995. Yes. We all know the Legs of Thunder, Jerry Skosana. He's no longer around. They've got a new crop now, a very young crop. But just the name itself, Orlando Pirates, the Bucks, the Buccaneers. I think that name should be enough to instill fear into anybody's nerves. But just going back to your question, I see this game as a pure test of strength and character for FC Platinum, and I'm sure they'll come to the party.
In your memory, Charles, is this perhaps the first time that Orlando Pirates is playing in Zimbabwe in a competitive fixture?
No, it's actually the third time.
Oh, the third time?
Yeah, the third time. The first time was when they played Dynamos in a two-legged affair.
Who carried the day in that one?
Orlando Pirates did. They came here for the first leg, and it was a goalless draw. And when I was actually there for both games, when we went to South Africa, it was in 2000, and Dynamos lost by 2-0. They could have lost by a wide margin had it not been for the heroics of the late goalkeeper, whom we used to call Muprisa, George Mandizidze. And a couple of years later, Orlando Pirates came here to play Caps United, and they did the double over Caps United. They beat them here and they beat them in the return in South Africa. So it is the third time. It's familiar territory for them. But listen, the personnel is all changed, like I said. And I think just looking at the list, man for man, FC Platinum and Orlando Pirates, I don't think there is much different to tell them apart. This is why I think the only thing that perhaps Norman Mapeza, Nomara or Muchina Wemajuzi, whichever nickname you want to use, and his technical team have got to find is to prepare the guys psychologically, because like I said, the name itself, just Orlando Pirates, is enough to instill fear into anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course they do have a lot of decent players at Orlando Pirates, but so does FC Platinum. And then when you take a look at their styles, Charles, also contrasting styles, we see FC Platinum with those slow methodical build-ups from the back. That's the way they like to play under Norman Mapeza. But the offensive transitions of Orlando Pirates, very quick, very fast, and Norman Mapeza will have to come up with a plan to contain those transitions, because if he doesn't, Orlando Pirates could hurt them.
Oh yeah, definitely, because FC Platinum have it all too easy, if I can use that phrase, against Zimbabwean opposition, because nobody really can match the one-touch football, the build-ups from the back here when you play against FC Platinum. So Orlando Pirates will have started FC Platinum. They will know about them. And in Mitchell, their Serbian coach, I think he will play his cards right. And he's going to have an ace in the pack, our own Kudamahachi. So I think he will entrust him because he knows everything about FC Platinum. So Mapeza, no matter, he is a shrewd tactician. I know he's going to have, I think, to change a lot. At home, we will be expecting FC Platinum to go all out for the kill from the first whistle. But knowing Mapeza, he will not do that, because he's not playing against Zimbabwean opposition. I'm not taking anything away from Zimbabwe opposition.
He knows it's a decent team.
It is. He is up against a more than decent team. One of the giants of not only of South African football or Southern African football, but one of the giants of African football. And something at the back of my mind tells me that Mapeza will have planned for an Orlando Pirates offensive.
You talked about Kudamahachi, and of course Kudamahachi has been in good form. He's come off the bench in the last couple of matches for Orlando Pirates versus Highlands Park and Chipa, and he has scored in those matches. So in terms of confidence, he's going to be he's going to be cock-a-hoop, believing that he can do damage at a ground that he knows very well, having played for Chicken Inn, having played for Highlanders as well. So he'll be looking forward to a return to Baba Fields. They also have got young Munetsu, who's been a regular at Orlando Pirates. But I like the guy that you talked about there, CNN Michu, the coach of Orlando Pirates. They call him the Wolf of Serbia. He's up against Norman Mapeza. Where do you see the tactical battle swinging to? Where does the pendulum, who does it swing to in the battle between those two?
Well, on paper, it should swing to Mitchell, because he's the more experienced. He's been exposed, I think, on higher ground than Mapeza. But we've all seen what Mapeza can do, and I think matching Mitchell man for man, especially at Barberfield Stadium, and I've got to emphasize this: FC Platinum have really got to go all out, both guns blazing, because I have a feeling that when we go to South Africa, things are going to be very, very tough. If we manage to hold them to a draw in South Africa, I think we will have played quite a lot. So I think the key is winning at home, and it's going to be very interesting how Nomara is going to manufacture his jerseys, the jersey knitting machine. It's going to be very, but I think he's got enough arsenal
to do damage.
I think so. I think he's got enough.
Yeah, he's got good players, of course. FC Platinum adding the likes of God knows Murvira, one of the most outstanding talents in our local premiership. And it'll be interesting to see whether God knows Murvira, the man they call Zizou, starts for FC Platinum on Saturday versus Orlando Pirates. We are speaking to the voice of football, Charles Mabika, the man they call CNN. He's here with us at ZiFM Sport as we kick-start the interview edition on Thursday here. And we're just having a discussion around Zimbabwe football. And if you think it's just for today, well, I can tell you that we'll have Charles Mabika back again next week as he speaks to Barry Manandi and he tells us the story of his life as a sportscaster. Now, Charles, we've touched on FC Platinum. Let's talk about the year 2019 for Zimbabwe football. A very important year, critical year for the Warriors. They stand on the brink of making a return to the African Cup of Nations, which we thought was going to be played in Cameroon. And we've just found, we hoped it would be played in South Africa. But we found out it will be played in Egypt. The Warriors are on the brink. They had a couple of chances to seal qualification. They still haven't managed to seal it, but it's in their hands. They need a positive result when they play Congo at the National Sports Stadium. How do you see that panning out?
A draw is going to be enough. Whatever anybody else does, a draw is going to be enough.
Do they play for the draw, though?
Well, I was just I'm just beginning the story to say a draw is going to be enough, but I don't to qualify. I don't think Sunday Mofuchi Zambwa will go out for a draw. Yes, we've known him over the years that he's a man who'd rather win 2-1 than 10-9.
Exactly.
So, but on this occasion, I think he will know that. And if I can just digress for a teeny weeny bit, Mike, Sunday Mofuchi Zambwa always tells me, the Zimbabwe supporters are a hard lot to please, and he knows that, and he will know that everybody will come to the National Sports Stadium for one of the two legs, expecting a win. And I think at the National Sports Stadium, this is how he is going to orchestrate it. A definite win for the Warriors, because a draw, I don't think morally it will be uplifting for the millions.
Yeah, especially with us then having the prospect of playing what many would consider to be better African nations at AFCON, where you're going to come up against your Mohamed Salah-led Egypt, your Sadio Mane-led Senegal. There'll be tougher tests certainly waiting for the Warriors if they qualify for the African Cup of Nations. Are you concerned, Charles, with knowledge Musona, the situation that the Warriors captain finds himself in Belgium, where he makes that move to Anderlecht, but he has found minimal game time. He hasn't been playing quite a lot, and we need him. As a nation, there are those who argue that he could even be our best player. Are you concerned with the fact that he's not getting a lot of game time?
Yes, I am. I am definitely. And I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised how Anderlecht have made him a cameo appearing player. I mean, this guy, I don't know. It beats me, even in Germany, how this guy could not attract the interest even of Borussia Dortmund. Okay, maybe I might not go as far as saying Bayern Munich, but how he could not make
you
it.
Feel he should have at least cut out a career in the Bundesliga.
He should have in the Bundesliga, but that didn't happen. And when he then moved from KV Ostend to Anderlecht, I say to myself, now this is it. This is it, because listen, he's not a spring chicken anymore. So I felt that this was his chance, but somehow they're not using it.
Let's rewind, Charles, to several years ago. When Knowledge Musona was making headlines at Kaizer Chiefs, and then the interest started coming in from Europe, and we heard of interest from Germany, we heard of interest from France, and then there was interest from the United Kingdom in the form of Glasgow Celtic.
That's right.
There's a school of thought that perhaps that's the move he should have made, and then perhaps moved into the English Premier League, at least got a soft landing in a league that was not as tough and as brutal as the Bundesliga.
Perhaps that could have been his mistake or his handler's mistake. I don't know who to shift the blame onto here, but perhaps when then they decided to move him to Belgium, they thought that he would really make a mark there. He did make a mark, but unfortunately the team that he made a mark with, is not one of the Belgian.
It's one of the unfancied sides.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you see, nobody really will notice you. And then I thought it wasn't too late for him to go to Anderlecht. And, well, it looks like it hasn't been happening. And for that alone, I'm pretty much worried in as far as the Warriors' perspective is concerned.
Charles Mabika concerned there about the fact that the Warriors captain, Knowledge Musona, is not getting the game time he should be getting ahead of crucial fixtures for the Warriors. There's that crucial qualification fixture versus Congo. And then, of course, we are all praying, fingers crossed, that Zimbabwe makes it to Egypt 2019. And then Knowledge Musona will be expected to lead the Warriors into battle against some of the biggest football nations in Africa. You, of course, can tell your friends about this interview. They can get the podcast a bit later on Twitter as well as Facebook. Don't forget to follow and interact with us on social media. Facebook and Twitter, simply follow at ZiFM Sport, at Mike Madoda, at Barry Manandi, and the rest of the team. Now, Charles, we got a few minutes left, but just enough time for us to hear your thoughts on what's happening internationally. I'm not going to talk about Middlesbrough.
Why not? Why not? This is what I just wanted to talk about.
I'll spare you.
In case people need reminding, there, Liverpool were whacked out of the FA Cup 2-1, and Middlesbrough are into the next round. We whacked one team 5-0.
Oh, there we go. But I'll remind you as well that Liverpool is sitting on top of the Premier League.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that Premier League race. It's the first time that Liverpool have a realistic chance of going all the way in the Premier League. They have at the moment right now a 4-point advantage over Manchester City, a very good Manchester City side. How do you see the English Premier League panning out in the last 4 months of the year, of the season?
Listen, this is perhaps, I think, undoubtedly for me, the most exciting league, not only in Europe, in the world today, because now you see a side hoping to go like 10 points clear, like Liverpool had done it, but it didn't. So it's back. It was blown wide open. And I think the exit out of the FA Cup, I think, could have been a blessing in disguise for Jurgen Klopp. And
you think they're going to have fresher players for the campaign?
I think they will, and they will approach the Premiership. Of course, there's still the European Champions League to contend with, but I think them going out of the FA Cup, instead of 3 fronts, they now have 2 fronts. So I think, well, I'm not going to really predict, but I think it's for Liverpool to lose that league title.
Let's go to Manchester United. Mourinho, his departure, was that the right move by Manchester United to send him packing?
I've never had time for that guy.
Oh.
You see, I've never had time for that guy because listen,
I think all the Man United fans they just fell off their chairs
and saying, CNN is one of us. No, I'm not one of them. But I've never had time. You see, when he started, you know, and he
was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, there was winning the Champions League at Porto, took everyone by surprise, and he went to Inter Milan. He did it. You know, Inter Milan were not one of the giants really, but then as soon as he left, then he left Real Madrid. I think he thought he was untouchable. You know, that special one tag for him, it was the untouchable one. And
his
him,
attitude changed.
Yeah, his attitude changed. He was dividing the dressing room at Real Madrid. He had, you know, a clash with Iker Casillas, CR7 at one time, and so on. And when he went back to Chelsea, the same thing happened. And I told a couple of, I don't think couple, many of Manchester United supporters, you know, they were all happy when he arrived. And I said, you're going to rue the day that you've let this guy into Old Trafford. And look what happened. And Mourinho, I think he has fallen by his own sword.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, just quickly, Charles, as we wrap up, a quick dive into Spain, where the European champions don't look anything like European champions at the moment.
Wow. We could beat them at Middlesbrough. I think we could, you know.
Middlesbrough?
I think we could.
You reckon you could take Real Madrid?
I think so. I think, Mike, I think what they did, it's simple. They did not agree, they did not get a replacement for the one and only. They should have. I mean, they were depending on Benzema, but listen,
he can't carry the team.
He can't carry.
Neither can Bale as well.
Bale is always prone to injury, and I don't see. I think his days are numbered at Real Madrid as well. So, if I don't know whether they're still gonna go for Hazard from Chelsea, but he's
does he
out and out striker
I was going to ask that. Does he bring the goals that Ronaldo used to bring?
He can do that, but I don't see Real Madrid winning the La Liga this time around. I don't see them retaining the European Champions League. So I think they've got to go back to the drawing board and see if they can find a replacement for CR7.
Well, it's back to the drawing board for Real Madrid. They still need to find a replacement for CR7. Well, the one replacement you will find is for the show, because we are out of here, and we'll be back with Charles Mabika next week, Thursday. Today we were talking about FC Platinum, we talked about the Warriors, we dived into European football, touched on Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid, but next week we'll be able to find out a bit more about Charles Mabika. Who is he? Where did he start? What are his more memorable moments? The full story of the man they call CNN. You can catch it right here on your favorite sports show, ZiFM Sport, with Barry Manandi. It's one not to be missed.
Play of the Day, proudly brought to you by Zol Fibronics Fast. Zolon, you deserve to live like this.
Fibronics, get on it, get on it, get on it. Fast broadband, you got it, you got it, you got it.
Our play of the day, we take you back into time and we call upon Adamski featuring Seal. This is the track Killer.
Fibronics, get on it, get on it, get on it. Fast broadband, you got it, you got it, you got it.
Zol Fibronics. Sign up today at zol.co.zw. You deserve to live like this.
Be sure to catch ZiFM Sport every weekday on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.